Good afternoon, everyone. We're planning our trade for today, September the 8th. As you can see from the radar screen, that the currency that has been moving all day today was the Canadian dollar. It moved about 104 pips against the US dollar, 147 pips against the British pound, 89 pips against the CAD, and 116 pips against the euro. That is a very positive move, and also, as you can see, it is at the low of the day as far as the euro go. It is at the euro is at the low of the day, the Australian is at the low of the day, the British pound is extremely at the low of the day, and the pound, the US dollar is slightly, it's pretty much near the low. So this weakness should be continuing towards the end of the session, and we are going to use this information in order to plan how we're going to trade the Tokyo. Now, however, there is a couple of interesting observations I want to share with you. As you can see that from our trade planning that we did last Monday night in order to prepare for our trading this week, we had our long point on the dollar CAD as the 103.50, and our structure long was the 103.50. So our long entry and the structure point were one and the same. If you would see today in the dollar CAD, when it reversed, it came down. We had this reversal from the 105. It came all the way down to the structure point of the 103.50, and it held and it bounced back above the structure point of 103.50, and now it is trading at 103.66. So even with this huge momentum that we have right now, that bounce as part of trading the structure points, that would indicate to us that it is not yet time to go short the dollar CAD. We will short the dollar CAD below the 103.50, but not before. As long as the dollar CAD is above the 103.50, we will be staying on the sidelines as far as the dollar CAD goes, or we can have still a positive bias. So we have to be careful going into the Tokyo about the Canadian pairs in particular, because these moves are quite extended. So we have to be careful about the Canadian, as I said, because the move is extended. Also, looking at trying to choose what other pairs we can be looking at. The euro dollar has reversed from the downside and it's moving higher. It's a long reversal. And the same thing with the pound dollar. They are also moving up. But as you can see, they have given back all the gains that they had done during the New York session. So even though we had big extended moves to the downside, but the dollar came down to structure point and it began to bounce to the upside, as we have seen in the Canadian above the 103, and we are now came back all the way from the high in the pound. We gave back all the way all the gains in the euro, and we have given 100% of the gains that was in the Australian. So what this tells us is that there is now a positive undertone coming into the dollar going into Tokyo session. So I will not be looking at shorting the dollar in Tokyo. On the contrary, I'll be looking to find opportunities to start buying the dollar pairs. Okay? Good luck while you're trading, and stay on the positive side on the dollar as long as it breaks up higher out of the Tokyo start.